Here, you get a sword, and you get a rock. Thanks. Hey, what's up, nerds? It's me. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on another foggy Friday. I'm joined by Steve on this 7th day of June, and I'm looking at a game. Somebody sent me a game to review, and actually they sent me this like last week, and it's been sitting in my folder, and I just forgot. And then I kept saying, I should do this. I should look at this guy's game. He sent me a game. And then I forgot. But finally, I'm getting around to it. This is Swords and Stones. It's from Tim Posynick. He contacted me about 2 weeks ago asking me if I'd take a look at it, review it. I was like, have you seen my reviews? Okay. So obviously it is yet another D20 OSR retro clone inspired by, says right here, our good friend Kelsey Dion and our good friend Runehammer Hank and Ben Milton, and as well as just general D20 stuff like that. So this is based upon a game he ran a long time ago and his home campaign. You can tell by the art. They dated back to 1988. So he tells us about his world, the multiverse of the world, and then stuff like what is an NPC, how you play the game, gear, leveling, his magic system. It goes all the way up to dungeon building and a sample character record sheet. He also sent me the bestiary for the book. It says, what time is it? I'm trying to see how long ago he sent this to me. So he sent this to me on the 2nd. It's the 7th. So yeah, let's take a look at Swords and Stones. I obviously like the the hand-drawn classic 1980s old school art. I really like this. It's very simple. It's got that old DM's guide style to it. It doesn't take up the whole page. It doesn't waste a lot of ink, but it definitely tells a story. And it looks like somebody, actually drew it as opposed to AI or clip art. So definitely pluses for things. We've got the origin of the world and stuff like that. We've got this interesting picture. Looks like that one's been around for a while, but I can't see the date. Here's another one. This one's dated 1988. Then we've got stuff on the setting and his words. His worlds, I like this. Instead of having the classic races, he gave them new races, but he definitely tongue-in-cheek tells you what they are. So he's got the Arufu, A-R-U-F-U, which is like kind of elfish. It's like that's the exact same thing I would do. The Dorku smells like orc. So basically the same race. The Baku, berry buggy types, bugbears. The Saku, teeny little apes. You can play apes in this game. The Nakru, which are goblins. And the Goku, which are lizards. You know what he doesn't have? Humans. No humans in his world. Interesting. Elves, orcs, bugbears, monkeys, goblins, and lizardmen. No of the other ones. Where's the humans? Interesting choices. So already it's definitely going in a different direction, going towards more of a Ardungwimor, let's get wacko. No dwarves, no gnomes, no humans. Wow, cool. And then we got some information on the Underdark, including the Drow. We've got trolls. We've got werecats or tiger people. And then some more news on his information on his take on the Forbidden Zone, the Underdark. Selection on game terms. Maybe a little bit more art to break it up would be nice. But still, yeah. And again, this simplistic, classic 80s zine style, of art, which is just, I love. What you need to play, 6-sided dice. So it's a D6 system. So, yeah. Uses the standard strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. But you only get a D6 for your stats. So 6 is the highest, 1's the lowest. Interesting, different, unique, not unheard of. Reminds me of I think the Fantasy Trip. I'm not seeing a lot of influence from D20 from Runehammer or anything. It feels like he, you know, other than the basic trappings, this is definitely feeling a little bit more independent and different. And I like that. How to make a character, random tables for height and weight and physique. And now here we go. Here's the stuff for, you know, the classic random tables from Ben / Shadowdark / Hank. Starter pack. Random stuff. Yes, here's the influence. Here's those random tables that we love so much. Experience points, what you can do when you level. I'm not noticing any classes. How his magic system works. And it definitely looks different. It's got 50 spells. There's no spellcaster, so basically it looks like it's a skill-based system. I don't see any classes. You level and you choose which one you want, right? So everybody starts the same. You start as your race. No classes that I'm seeing. How to roll, you know, the standard how to roll dice, what the dice means. Game mechanics, pretty much standard stuff, except for it uses a D6, but the DM uses a 2D10. Interesting. Why doesn't the DM use a D6 like everybody else? Here's an example of combat. Example of play and things you can do in the game. Sample adventure. And again, here's the tongue-in-cheek. Welcome to my pool party. The path is made for walking, but only for Ufru, not you. So definitely there's a little bit of some tongue-in-cheek sarcasm in there. So I like that. So we got a Sapton, a sample adventure, a sample dungeon building, sample tables to roll to build your sample dungeon. So just a classic random dungeon building tables. An example random building dungeon. The character record sheet. And the introduction, Swords and Stones. It is trans fiction. Apparently you don't start on the world. You start on in Earth and you somehow get transported to the thing. So your character is a human. Everybody else on the world is a other race, or you could choose to just ignore that and play one member of the weird other races and have no human. So very alternative, very different. Do we explain? Is there a table of contents? No. Do we explain why DMs get 2D10 but players get a D6? I guess just because DMs are better and get to do more shit. Anyways, that's the player's handbook / DM's guide. Interesting. No classes. Everything seems to be built around skills that you take when you level. So if you want to be a spellcaster, you got to take the spells, it looks like. I mean, this is my first look, so I'll go through it again. I'm just giving my general overview. For an amateur reprint of a game that the kid made in 1988 and is now trying to get on the market I mean, it's got uniqueness going for it. It's different enough, but I don't know if different is enough to really make a dent. I mean, I don't expect any of this shit I'm publishing to, you know, break the top 100 or even be a copper seller on Drivethrurpg. I'm just doing it, you know, if I make $100 a month, I'm happy. So I guess it depends on what his plans are and what he wants to do with it and where he wants to go with it. So maybe he'll let me interview him. Well, I got to reach out to him and interview him. So there we go. Swords and Stones from Tim. Thank you for sending it to me, Tim. My initial over is, I mean, it's nice. It's different. It's unique. It's got some stuff I like. There is no classes. Everything is skills. I have a few questions, but I'm sure that would be answered if I went through it again. So Do you guys want to see me go through this again, or are you like, no more? No more. I don't need another. Here's my negative. I got to get to the negative point where I'm like, I don't really need another D20, D6 fantasy retro clone. I've got hundreds of them, and I don't know if the market needs another D20 or D6, just another OGL, OSR, old school retro clone. There is enough in this that's different that it could find an audience, assuming there's an audience out there for different. But I didn't think the Goblin thing would sell, and it's selling. So there, even if one person buys it, there's an audience out there for this. It's got a very Ardor and Grimoire old school 80s feel to it, which is probably because it was originally written in the 1980s, it looks like, which I love. So it's refreshing to see something this garage band, this punk, this zine-like. This definitely reminds me of all the shit that was coming out independent in the 80s before the OGL in the Stone Age, in the old days when we just made shit and published it, at Kinko's and sold 5 copies and we thought we were rocking. And that's what this feels like. And that's both good and bad. I would definitely want to know what Tim's, where Tim wants to go with this. Is this just a fantasy heartbreaker for him? Does he feel like he actually has a chance to kickstart this and spruce it up and maybe compete? I don't know. I don't know. I hope so. So if you're out there, Tim, give me a shout out, and I'll maybe we can set up an interview. See what you have to say about your plans for this project and why you waited between 1988 until now to get it out there and what you want to do with it. Again, thanks for sending it to me. If you guys want to see me go through this again, let me know. If you're just burnt out on D20 OGL OSR old school retro clones and never want to see me go through another one, let me know. I completely understand. If you want to support some gaming stuff, check out Tim's link down below, or head on over to Drive-Thru and check out my Drive-Thru shop and buy my merch because, yeah, I'm awesome. And that's it. There, I remembered. Talk to y'all later. Have a great day. Oh, I got a comment. Mimeograph rules that still smell good from the Ditto machine. Oh yeah, it definitely has that classic 80s zine look. That's just, that's classic. I love that. I miss that.
Yo, check. Yeah, we not the type to play.